the case of economics. Strategies to adapt for adaptation, we need to basically, the aim is to sort out these problems. Improve efficiency at work, enable or facilitate communication with colleagues, provide greater independence and autonomy while conducting these tasks, facilitate also time management, and also pay attention to the working conditions and how they can work out or work around certain difficulties they may have. Some of the cases of adaptation would be basically just breaking down tasks or simplifying tasks and the space. A lot of them are, some environments are very complex and without need, really. Be able to use equipment and tools that are easy to use, show how to use them, adapt instructions by indications or signs or any other type of tool, so the worker can adapt to these tasks using support elements such as reminders, guides, constant feedback on the job, so the employee knows how he or she is performing, how to correct any deviation, strengthen a good performance, so they can stabilize that good performance, that good work, and support activities and adapt labor training to the characteristics of the employee. Yes, and the question is, can we use ICTs to implement or some of these requirements, or these improvements or adaptations that I've just mentioned? And obviously, yes, of course we can. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here talking to you this morning. Anyways, we believe it's possible. So the second half I want to share with you is the relationship between intellectual disability and the ICTs. For a long time now, ICTs is a resource used by people with disabilities because they enable social integration, but they're also very good in intellectual rehabilitation, sensorial stimulation, learning, alternative communication, adapting to different environments and scenarios, and other elements as well, where ICTs can really help the people with a disability. In addition, the advantages that takes have for people in general, such as socialization, communication with other people, which are of particular importance and very beneficial for people with these disabilities. The problem lies in that the conventional programs are not really adapted to the needs of people with these with intellectual disabilities. Because we can talk about hardware, but it's mostly software what we're looking at here. That is the logic components. In the case of handsets, for example, then PDAs or mobile phones, normally they're not adapted to these individuals. There's a lot of information, very technical language, and difficult for them to understand. Complex structures, for example, navigation, or even access to the different elements of a software, or the components of a software, or in a mobile phone itself can be particularly difficult for these individuals and confusing for someone not used to working with this technology. That's why it's very important to design programs that are adapted to those features, following the basic principles of design for all and usability. So we're not necessarily looking for adapted programs, but also looking at or ensuring that the programs are useful for these people and for anybody else. The main parameters that we've discussed, and I think are important, is basically software for people with disabilities. So we have the clear screens, commands, and characteristics that are consistent between screens. So in other words, when you switch a menu or a screen, we repeatedly see the same commands and characteristics, constant feedback, the use of visuals and audio during navigation, larger controls to simplify the device, linear designs, not circular or other structures. Try to reduce the potential errors to a minimum while using the software. And also customization choices. A lot of many software in fact, have enable you to have configuration, enable to configure it so that you can adjust it, and you can do, adapt the size of icons, for example, or how information is displayed. And this is very important to make sure that a tool can be adapted to a person with special needs. Some of these examples already finding in Spain, as you can see on screen, we have the CPA communicator, the Scout, the Tutor, the FR, the BIT project, the FR, the VIP. A lot of these are focused on some of them aimed at children as well, not necessarily facing work yet, but these are tools that enable them to adapt to the workplace. That's what we specialize in, and we've developed what we just finished in GTT, which is a time and task management system. And what we have now is a new project. It's called the Avanza project. We've got not software. We're calling it Avanza PDA, but no name yet for the software, but very similar. And let me just describe it to you. First of all, the GTT, the Task and Time Manager, is a software developed in order to enable people to adapt to the workplace. It's a tool developed with IBV, and this is being financed by the BBVA Bank. And the main objective of this is to enable people to adapt to the workplace by giving a step-by-step description of the job. The main thing of the software is that the design, of course, adapts to people with intellectual disability by means of, the criteria that I mentioned earlier. An interface with very clear navigational structure, large buttons that enable to use it with both a pointer or a finger. There's a tool. So this is a software for touch screens. And also the ability to introduce text, visuals, and audio. Basically, it's a handset that you fill in, that you add whatever is needed, or whatever you can include a built-in whatever task and chores need to be conducted by this person, broken down in steps. And again, as I said, it enables you to create the alarms, the tasks, the agendas, checklists, and so on, that you, through the software, then you input into this PDA or the handset of the users. So if the manager has 15, 20 employees, you can have 15 specific programs for each of these employees, including all the activities, the tasks, the resources, time frame, and so on, necessary to conduct these tasks. And then that's uploaded to a mobile handset, which is what the user will be, the worker will be using, the employee will be using. So there's the desktop version and the handset version. There are 4 modules. And how to do it, verify today, and information. So basically, how to do it, is a tutorial offering information on the different things that they have to do, they have to conduct. And the employee can check anytime when he has a doubt on what to do, or a particular step, or when they need to learn how to carry out a certain task. So all the information is built in, so they press on how to, and it lists the different tasks. And again, you go from one task to another, and you get or subtask and so on, and you see a description of how to conduct that particular task. Then the administrator configures how those tasks how you want to visualize that, either text, audio, text, visual, and audio. It can be done different ways depending on the intellectual abilities of the employee and his or her needs. And you can also select all the tasks or one specific one where the employee has